I put my water on the floor. Let's hope I don't spill. Let's get started. Hello everyone and welcome to whatever this video is gonna become. This is part 2 of my name is Zarina. Gotta get that part in. My name is Zarina and this is part 2. This is part 2 of the books I read in March video. Yes, so there's 6 books included in this part, and if you want to see the other 6 I read in March, they're in my channel. They're in my channel. It should be already posted on my channel when this video comes out. Okay, let's actually get started now. So the 7th book that I read for the month of March was The Memory Thieves by Dhonielle Clayton, and this is book 2 in the Controverse series. This series is becoming one of my favorite middle grade series, and I really cannot wait for the 3rd one. Not only is this cover stunning, the end papers are also, struggling. The end papers are also gorgeous, and it honestly is such like a fresh story for this, I feel like, for this typical genre. It does happen to, if you like magic and magical schools and you just want something new that you feel like you haven't read before, I cannot recommend these enough. So one thing in this world is there's 2 different types of magic. I'm forgetting what the first magic is called, but Ella, our main character, practices, and her family practices a type of magic called conjure, which isn't really, I believe that's what it's called. If I get this wrong, it's been a hot second since I've read the books and, you know, terminology kind of tends to slip. She's the first magician person from conjure to go to this school, and she finds out there's a lot of like deep hidden secrets and a lot of things that are going on, and they're just really fun. This 2nd installment was so exciting. I thought it was even better than the first one, and I really enjoyed the first one. A really fun aspect of these books is they have like this kind of like multimedia-ish approach. So at the end of each chapter, they have like, I think it's called star posts. Yeah, star posts where like they send messages to each other. So you can see like the text messages, but I believe they're like letters that they're sending back and forth like between the families and stuff. There's also like newspaper clippings that are put in here, and it's a really fun read, not only from the, of course, the story perspective, but from how the story is kind of pieced together with all these different elements. I'm really looking forward to the 3rd installment. I'm gonna have to look up when that comes out because, oh my gosh, am I so excited. Like, yeah, if you really if you kind of liked Harry Potter but felt like it was missing something, this book kind of gives you the feeling that you're missing. We're only on book 2. We're gonna see if this series doesn't like blow up. I don't hear enough people talk about these. Maybe it's just because I don't follow a lot of people who read middle grade still. But oh my gosh, if you like middle grade, if you want to get back into middle grade, this series is like 100% where you should start. Okay, cool. Also, it's set in Louisiana, and like, how many cool fantasy books are set in Louisiana? Like, it's... Read the book. Okay. Oh, I rated it 5 stars. Obviously. Next up, we have volume 11 of Witch Hat Atelier. This is a series by Kamome Shirahama. Names. This is the first ever manga I started before there is an anime. I know there's one in production now. Where's volume 1? So I don't accidentally spoil anything. Come here. Okay. Yeah, here's volume 1. The art is stunning. Like, look, like, are you kidding me? It follows, a girl who, I don't even know how much of the series I can talk about before, not spoil something. It does follow a group of girls as they learn magic and they navigate this magical world, especially, oh, that's a better way. So the book follows one girl who was outside the realm of magic, and due to some unfortunate circumstances, she ends up having to learn magic, and kind of her and like becoming a part of magic. That's a terrible description. I'm not very good at explaining the plot. The art is gorgeous. The story is really good. Yeah, volume 12 has come out. I have not bought it yet, but that's because, so to limit myself from buying books, after 6 volumes of manga, this is 6 now, 6 volumes of manga or 3 read books, I get to pull 1 book out of my magic teapot. And unfortunately, volume 12 has not come out yet, and I'm kind of mad about it. But we're just gonna keep reading until till I can get it. Yep. Okay. Next book. Oh, and for volume 11, I rated a 4.5. I don't exactly remember why I didn't get 5-star, but I'm sure it wasn't something huge. yeah, okay, next. The next book that I read was Caraval by Stephanie Garber. I'm not gonna lie, so I've actually read this book before, and I completely forgot that I had read this book before. I rated it 3 stars this time around. I'm not sure what I rated it the first time, because I completely forgot that I've read it. I believe I listened to it as an audiobook, which might, if I gave it a higher rating, that might have helped, because when people say the world building in this book is like awful, it like really is. About twice as long as it should be. I understand like the vibe that it's trying to get, and I know that's why a lot of people enjoy it, but for me, the vibe was like non-existent. Like I was like, what is this? I could not suspend my disbelief, I guess, when I was reading this book. I believe on my TBR, my electronic TBR, what is it called? Anyway, you know, the one on the computer. What is that called? Why does this strap not want to stay up? On there, I do have the rest of the series, and I do have her second series. However, I really don't think I'm going to continue. I don't care about these characters enough to, like, actually want to read it more. And, yeah, like, the love, in like, the romance didn't pull me in that much. The plot twists didn't really pull me in that much. I don't think it necessarily helped that I had read it before, and so every single time something, like, plot twisty kind of happened, I was like, wait a minute. I know this part. Yeah, so I'm gonna try reading her, I think Light Lark is the first book. I'm gonna try reading that series, and if I don't really agree with her writing again, I think I'm just gonna stop. But if I end up liking Light Lark, maybe I'll come back and read more of this series. But yeah, unfortunately, it was just a really no-go for me. Okay, what is it with authors nowadays and like having books that are like twice as long as they need to be? Like, just cut some words out. Like, we don't need to know all this. And if you want to hear some unpopular book opinions, leave it in the comments. Maybe I'll make a video. The next book that I read was Bloodmarked by Tracy Deonn. I am not gonna lie, I did not enjoy this one as much as the first one. I rated this one a 4-star, and I believe I rated the first one a 5-star. It wasn't necessarily bad. I still enjoyed it, and I'm still planning on picking up the third book. However, it just was a lot slower. I feel like the main character lost a lot of what made her in the first book. Again, this is also going off vague memory from March. I did not leave notes on most of these books. The world building is there, and there's potential, but I don't know. I believe, yeah, her name's Bree. I just feel like Bree wasn't herself and wasn't doing what I expected her to do. Yeah, there was some weird stuff happening in here with the characters not feeling themselves. However, I do have hope for the third book. Again, it wasn't bad, it just wasn't as good as the first one. So here's for hopes of this series feeling like this, because there's hope. Like, it wasn't, yeah, I still give it a 4-star. It was still better than a lot of stuff I read. So yeah, not much more to say on this one. So the next book that I read for March, I actually don't have because a friend is borrowing me, and that is Bride by Ali Hazelwood. Maybe I'll put a picture up here. And I rated it 4 stars. I remember thinking that the beginning is really slow. Again, I think it's because Ali Hazelwood usually does like STEM books, romance books, and they're like happening in real life, so she doesn't have to kind of like world build. But in that book, there was a lot of world building in the front, and then once you got past like the halfway point, it kind of started moving faster, and I didn't really enjoy that part, mostly because I think I went into it like more wanting to embrace the romance aspect, so when I had to do a lot more world building than I like originally felt like I wanted to do, it kind of just made me not enjoy it as much as I thought I was going to. But yeah, I would overall suggest it, especially if you're like, it's not a bad vampire werewolf book. Like, there are plenty of the bad ones out there. This one is definitely decent, and I enjoyed it, and I probably would, actually that's a lie, I would not reread it, but it was good, and I would suggest it. So do with that as you may. That's the phrase. And the last book that I read for the month was Heaven Official's Blessing, Volume 2. Honestly, this book was a struggle. I think, apparently it wasn't as much of a struggle as I remember. I gave it a 4 stars. I did enjoy this one a lot more than the first one. I think it does help that I read this one before I watched season 2, because season 2 of Heaven Official's Blessing was not out yet. I've now read the third one, and I do really enjoy the series. However, yeah, the first book went really slowly for me. I think it's, again, because I had watched the show, and I know these are translated from Mandarin, I believe, or Cantonese. I don't know. They're translated, so the writing can be a little stiff at times and be really blocky and hard to get through. There's also sometimes some really, like, you can tell like the translation didn't quite translate, and it's mental gymnastics a little bit to figure it out, which again can be expected with any book that's being translated because it's not being consumed in its original intended language. But the story started to pick up a lot more in this one, so I think that's why I ended up giving it 4 stars. Yeah. Oh my gosh, I believe I talked incredibly fast for this one. I didn't mean to. It's just that usually when I'm filming these, there are family members home, and I'm trying to be quiet because my mom works from home and she's usually on conference calls. But my mom is currently not home, and neither is any of my other family members. So I was free to talk as fast and as loud as I wanted without causing problems. If I am talking a little faster than usual, that would be why. But yeah, we've reached the end of this video. For all of my book related videos, any of the books that I talked about will be in the comments, as well as if I have any unfinished thoughts, they'll be down there as well. If you like this video, give it a like, and if you want to see me go more in depth into why I liked or didn't like a specific book, you can leave it in the comments and I will add it to a list. I think for the next couple videos I am going to be trying to get through what the books I read for this year and catching up, because now it is October, so I now have the month of September to also add to the behind months of stuff that I read. Subscribe! Okay, no, just kidding. I love you guys. I will see you again soon, hopefully. So, bye-bye! I need water. Okay, we're good. Do with that as you may. That's the phrase.